So here we begin with A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. So before we start this poem, just go through what is given in the box, right? It says, this poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with tiger in its natural habitat. So here in this poem, the poet has compared a tiger which is kept inside a zoo and a tiger who is, who moves around freely in the forest. All right. Then in this poem, right, this poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. So here there are 5 stanzas in the poem, and in these 5 stanzas the poet has very nicely moved us, right? He has first taken us to a zoo, then to the environment, and then back to the zoo again, right? So it is said like that. Now let us go through the poem. I'll read the poem and explain it in a stanza wise. So you please look at it very carefully and try to understand, right? It says, he stalks in his vivid stripes. The first stanza says, he stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage. Stalks means to move with pride. Vivid means clear, right? So here in the first stanza, the poet talks about that tiger who moves with a pride. As we all know that the tigers, they are very chivalric, very brave, very proud of his bravery, right? So here in this poem also, the poet talks about the tiger who moves with pride and shows its clear stripes, right? Very clearly, his stripes are seen. The few steps of his cage. Now the word cage here in the first stanza clearly shows us that the poet is talking about the tiger which is kept inside a zoo, right? So here imagine that there is a tiger who is kept inside a zoo, and that tiger moves with a pride, showing its clear stripes, right? On pads of velvet quiet. Pads means, the cushion type. And, when the tiger moves, we don't even hear his footsteps, right? It just moves very softly, right? So exactly that way here also the tiger, he moves inside his cage, right? Without the noise of his footsteps, in his quiet rage. Rage means anger. So now, right, the first stanza, it speaks about the tiger which moves with pride, right, who shows his clear stripes. But the tiger here, it moves inside his cage. His footsteps is not heard, but he is very angry. All right. Then moving on to the next stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, right? The meaning, lurking means hiding, sliding means gliding, right? To glide. Sliding means to glide. So here, the poet, when he says he should be hiding in a shadow, right? Sliding through long grass, moving through long grass. So this word, the long grass, clearly shows that the poet is talking of the tiger who is like moving freely in the environment, right? So the second stanza talks about that tiger who is free in the environment. Here, the poet says that the tiger should be hiding, hiding in a shadow and moving slowly through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. Plump means like healthy deer. Okay. So this tiger, he slowly goes near the water hole. Why does he go near the water hole? Is because there the healthy deer comes to drink water. They pass by through that water hole. And that is why to hunt that deer, the tiger walks slowly through long grass and hides himself behind the shadow. All right. Now moving on to the third stanza. He should be snarling around houses, right? Gnawing means to give a sound of anger. When it roars, right? When the tiger roars, it has a sound of anger, right? He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge. baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So again in the third stanza, when the poet talks about at the jungle's age, the word jungle's age is given, and this clearly shows that the poet is talking about the tiger who is moving in the free environment, who's not kept in a zoo. All right. So the poet says, that tiger should be snarling around houses at the jungle's age, right? Now here the poet, he wants to give an image of, like, imagine that there is a village, right, just on the edge of the jungle, right, just on the corner of the jungle there is a village, right? And here the poet wants to say that the tiger, it goes near that village and roars, right? It gives a sound of anger. Baring means uncovered, fangs means teeth, right? Terrorizing, of course, causing fear. So here the poet says that a tiger comes near the village, right? Making a sound of an anger and showing his fangs, showing his teeth, his claws. And then when the villager sees the tiger who is roaring, the tiger who shows his teeth and the tiger who shows his claws, the village people, they are very scared, right? They are very scared of the tiger, is what is said in the third stanza. I hope it is clear to you, huh? Then moving on to the fourth stanza now. But he's locked in a concrete cell. The word but is a comparison done between the tiger who is moving around freely, who moves in a pride, right? Who terrorize the people. But now here again in the fourth stanza, the poet talks about the tiger who's kept in a concrete cell. Matlab, a tiger who is kept in a zoo. So, but he's locked in a concrete cell. His strength behind bars. Here, the poet has said very nicely, right? Here, of course, right, the tiger, they are full of strength. They are brave. They are chivalry. But his strength is all kept behind the bar. He cannot do anything, right? The strength, the power which he has is all behind the bar, is what is the poet trying to say in this stanza. But is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage. Stalking means to move with anger, to move with pride, right? Here in the fourth stanza, the poet talks about the tiger who is locked inside a zoo, locked in a concrete cell. His strength, his power is all behind the bars. He just moves onto the length of the cage and he ignores the visitor. Ignoring visitor means when the people come to look at the tiger in a zoo, the tiger just ignores the visitor, right? Then in the last stanza, the fifth stanza, the poet says, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling car. Again in the fifth stanza, the poet talks about the tiger who's kept in a zoo itself, right? He says, the tiger hears the last voice at night. The voice of the security, the voice of the patrolling car comes, right? And stares with his brilliant eyes. Right? The tiger who is kept in a zoo cannot do anything. Even though he's made of lot of powers, he's so brave, he cannot do anything. And he just stares with his brilliant eyes. And at night, he stares at those brilliant stars. Okay? So once again, let me give you the brief of what the poem is, right? We have 5 stanzas. And in these 5 stanzas, we've come to know that the first stanza talks about the tiger which is kept in a zoo, right? The second and the third stanza talks about the tiger who moves freely in the environment. The fourth and the fifth stanza again talks about the tiger who is kept in a zoo. Now we've come to know that there is a comparison done between a tiger who is kept in a concrete cell and the tiger who, moves freely in the environment, right?